I want to welcome everybody here to the 2024 Breeding Lamb Show. Entering the ring for breeding sheep Class 1, Enola Cade. Sophia Fout. Colt Pancake. Meredith Rogers. I'd like to introduce our judge tonight. It's Mr. Hayden Danmick. Hayden currently resides in Carmichael, Pennsylvania. He is a 2022 graduate of the University of West Virginia with a bachelor's degree in agribusiness management and is also the Northeast Regional Sales Manager for Tartar Farms and Ranch Equipment. Hayden also owns his own club lamb operation and goes by HD Showstock. He currently manages 40 head of AI flush mated Hamp cross females and sells yearly crop of competitive show wethers and ewe lambs. Hayden has previously shown livestock for 12 years and has completed stages of competition. His most notable achievement is being a 4-time Pennsylvania State Farm Show champion and lamb exhibitor. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly a pleasure to be out here and go through your sheep and goats this evening. Really excited for the opportunity to get out here and into Ohio and certainly show you my opinions on what I like in my stock and certainly my style of sheep that I try to find and raise back in Pennsylvania and be competitive with all over the country when I'm orchestrating my own breeding program. I think the one that we're going to start off with, the Young Man's Natural ewe that we use, I think just in terms of correct proportions and body length and the right frame that I like to see in the type of sheep, especially a female that's going to be in a breeding program, I think she has the most correct pieces for me in terms of that regard. She is a little up in her spine right there, but however, when we set her into motion, I think she really levels out. A couple times the young man got her smoothed out a little bit better for me there. But I think when you just study her overall shape and the dimension that one has, you study her levelness and the squareness she has the whole way throughout her body. She just balances the most correct for me today and is just the best off that hind wheel. And that's just kind of what gets her up to the top for me today. The sheep in second, really trendy. I like the moderation. I like the power that this little ewe lamb here has in second. For me, though, where I get harder on her, I'd like to lengthen her throughout her hip. I'd like to open her up in her loin there and just give her some more spread and some more squareness. I think if we filled her in there, maybe just dropped her flank ever so slightly, young lady, I think you could have a really nice female there going forward. Just doesn't have all the horsepower like the one up in front of us today to go higher. Sheep in third, a little bit more of a boxier style, power, moderate sheep, if you would. For me, I really appreciate that. I think, especially if you're trying to add some power into your program, it's a female to really start with and go forward with. For me, though, I think she just gets a little bit too short in her front 1/3 for me today. I'd like to see her just walk a little bit higher. I'd like to see her have a little bit more flex off of that hind wheel when she gets moving. Just reads a little straight for me today. And as we round out our class class here, ewe lambs, we run into a really framey individual here for me. Certainly got some muscle and some mass. I think she's just a little bit too long and just a little bit out of trend and style for me today to go a little bit higher. Certainly got some interesting pieces. I'd like to just shorten her up and just make her a little bit more moderate and trendy in terms of her overall design. Congratulations to him, though. Really nice set.
Results of Class 1, first place, Colt Pancake. Second place, Meredith Rogers. Third place, Sophia Fout. And fourth place, Enola Cade.
Entering the ring is Class 2.
Entering the ring is Breeding Sheep Class 2, Colt Pancake, Xander Pancake, and Meredith Rogers.
Really nice pair of yearlings to come out here, or even 2-year-olds, not quite sure what it said on the paper there, but so our mature ewe class, really nice pair of both, and I think you got some give and take in between each one, and depending on your values and what you want to land on, you can certainly appreciate them both in their own right. For me though, I think the shorter bladed, trendier one that I use to land on and start with, I think that's just kind of where I see her excel today over the ewe that we got in back. Just like I said, I think she's a little bit more correct in the way that she comes out of her neck. I think her blades are shorter, just a more compact and stylish type of look for me. I like her balance a little bit more in her chest floor, and the way that sits in her a little bit more. Ever so slightly, when I see her get into motion, I'd like to just level her out ever so slightly out of her spine. I'd like to see her hip and her loin junction kind of level out and tie a little bit better for me today. But that's being really nitty gritty on a really nice female. I think when young man, you get her propped right there, that one's pretty lights out. Really nice one to win this class. Ewe lamb here, mature ewe here in second. Like I said, I think really nice in terms of just having general shape and power. Certainly filled out a real maternal looking type of ewe. For me though, I just like to make her cooler out of that front 1/3, shrink her blades down, and I think we could just give her a shot more lower hip and shape in terms of just her overall body design to go ahead and rival that one up in front of her. I think if you did that, you could easily have one that goes out and competes and gets in front of her just because you got a little bit more frame and growth to you. Congratulations, though, really nice set.
Results of Class 2, in second place, Xander Pancake, and in first place, Colt Pancake. We are now going to choose our grand champion breeding ewe. In the ring, we need Colt Pancake. And the second entry by Colt Pancake.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could we please give both these champion exhibitors a nice little round of applause? Certainly a nice little group. I think it's a cool little deal. These guys are brothers out here and a family that's raising sheep. That's awesome. And they're at their county fair, and they got both out here in the final drive. Certainly a cool memory and experience that you guys get to carry together. I think you both brought some really nice sheep in each class, and was able to find them pretty easily in their own grouping, for my mind. When you get them out here and you kind of start to compare their differences and their similarities and what you like in them, really cool for you guys, because you got two awesome youths to go home and put in your program. But for me as a judge, I think it's cool to kind of see two different styles of lineup and what we got here. Like I said, in the first class, with the ewe lamb comes out, she's really trendy, really nice and balanced. I appreciate her, and just in terms of her proportions and body length, I think she's really cool out of her chest and neck, and the way that she extends and she gets around the ring. And I said that in the class. I think that's kind of what gets her there fairly easily. She's got some shag and some eye appeal as well too. Just really well fitted one and presented there. And as we get into our yearling or 2-year-old here, whatever age we got, I think we run into a really square-made type of sheep, one that's just really powerful and got a lot of correct pieces in terms of just a breeding female that I think is still able to balance. She's got a lot of horsepower, but she's able to transition it and tie into a lot of good places. Good enough for me in my mind today. I think her shoulder blade and the way that her neck sits in her was easily able to get her to excel into this final drive. She still balances for me plenty good enough. Ever so slightly, I'd like to see her just have a shot more foot, maybe just give her a little extra set off of those hind wheels. When we set her into motion, maybe we could just level her out ever so slightly too. That's just the differences in being nitty gritty on two really high quality ones, kind of separating good from the great. For me though, I'm going to go out and just shake the hands of the one that I think just kind of fits me in my mind today, what I'd like to kind of have in my program to start off with. And for reserve, we'll get the other one back out here, kind of compare them real quick, and then we'll make our final decision. So congratulations, guys. Really nice set.
Our grand champion breeding ewe from Class 2 is Colt Pancake.
A little bit of confusion there. I was trying to just get our grand champion picked out and handshaking there, and then wanted to get out here and for reserve and just kind of give our second place out of that yearling class a bit of a look and a chance to kind of fight and stand out here and see where she stands. I think though, I'm going to land comfortably in my mind on the one that I think just is a little bit more trendier, more attractive made. Young Man's Ewe Lamb's going to finish out. That one will be reserved. Congratulations though, guys. Nice set.
Our reserve champion is Colt Pancake from Class 1. Moving on to the Market Lamb Show, Class 1 entering the ring is Lily Schneider, Livy Russell, Piper Russell, and Leighton Fraley.
As we get into our first class here, market sheep, I think we kind of run into some differences immediately at the top. Two kind of different styled sheep. I think the speckled wether that we used to start off with, in terms of just overall finish and squareness, that's the sheep that I can easily gravitate towards in my mind for me today. He's not perfect in the way that his neck sits in him. I'd like to change him at the base of his forerib ever so slightly. But when we get past that, I think that's the sheep that's just got the overall most finish and correct handle and the fresh hide for me today. That one's just able to get up and finish in the one position for me fairly easily. The sheep in second here, really trendy ewe lamb, really appreciate her front 1/3, a lot better in terms of counterpart to that spec wether that we used to start off with. Real exotic, real tricked out and cool there in that regard. I like her ever so slightly more in motion when we start to compare in that regard as well. For me though, I think she just gives up the freshness and the overall horsepower. I like to open her up in the upper portion of her rack and see her rival the sheep that we used to start off with in terms of terminal shape. I think if we do that, that one can certainly rise up and excel. As we get into our sheep in 3 and 4 and 5, we run into just some sheep that are just reading a little bit too green for me today. I'd like to fill them in their tail docks and just give them some more time on feed and some fat to fill them in there. Sheep in 3, I think that one's just the most correct in terms of its balance and the depth of flank that it has compared to the 2 behind them. That's kind of where I find him in 3 today. Like I said, just like to freshen you up, add some more bloom and some more finish, you can go higher. As we get into 4 and 5, 2 sheep that are just off in their balance for me today. Sheep in 4, really like to change that one out of its tail dock, like to crispen that one up in its loin, make her handle more square and with some more shape for me today to go higher. And our sheep in our last class just gets a little bit too flat and plain for me today. Like to see this one just have some more shape and muscle to it to go any higher. Congratulations on a nice set.
Results of Class 1: in 5th place, Piper Russell; in 4th place, Piper Russell; in 3rd place, Livy Russell; in 2nd place, Lily Schneider; and in 1st place, Leighton Fraley. Entering the ring for Class 2, we have Xander Pancake, Enola Cade, Aubrey Workman, and Colt Pancake. Judge, this is your class.
We get our second class out here, and I think one that just rises to the top pretty easily for me is the young lady's weather that we use to start off with here. Just in terms of overall presentation, I think that one can just rise to the top pretty easily. Appreciate that one's height and touch and handle for me. Really crisp, really edgy, and all four corners of that thing. And you study the way that one just kind of props up on the profile. That one's really trendy. That one balances. That one's pretty proportionate. Really clean, especially in its chest and its breastplate, and that's kind of where it excels over the three behind him, especially probably the best on our hind end and our hind wheels, and when we set that one into motion too. Just a good one to start off with. When we get into 2 and 3, I think this is kind of where it gets a little bit more tossing up and which direction I wanted to go. I think the more terminal one that's just square and got more shape for me today, more center body shape, is the young man's here in more of the colorful shirt. Where I change this one though, I'd like to see this sheep just be a little bit more feminine and sleeker in his blades for me today. I think he gets a little bit too bold and opened up, and he doesn't kind of want to balance. I'd like to drop him in his flank and see him balance like that sheep that we use to start off with to go any higher for me, but a nice 1 and 2. Sheep in 3rd, like I said, I really like to change this one in its breastplate specifically. Gets really deep in its chest there and wants to kind of sit forward and have the incorrect angle to its shoulder blade for me to want to go higher like those two up in front of him. But when you study his overall terminal shape and the power that he has, I think he's the most correct out of his hip compared to our bottom 2 pair that we have here when we start comparing him to the young ladies in the back. That one's just a little bit more, like I said, square, got some more shape, more terminal value there as compared to our young ladies in the back. I'd like to see that one just have some more overall bloom on it for me today, young lady. I think you got a really nice sheep that's got some good proportions in my mind in terms of body length and the way that she flows. I'd like to just change that one out of its tail dock, like square up there out of her hip. Just open her up and just give her some more boldness. I think if we were to do that and just give her some more shape from behind, she can go ahead and rise up because she's pretty trendy. Congratulations.
Results for Class 2. In 4th place, Aubrey Workman. In 3rd place, Xander Pancake. In 2nd place, Colt Pancake. And in 1st place, Enola Cade. Now entering the ring for Class 3, Sophia Fout, Leighton Fraley, Jonesy Colgrove, and Isabella Lewis. Judge, this is your class.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's hot outside, but we certainly turned up the heat in the ring in terms of just overall quality that we got out here. I think the one that I can land on is just a pretty unique sheep in my mind. I think one that balances incredibly good, a sheep that's got a tremendous shape up high when you study him, a really wide base type of sheep, really fresh to the touch and handle. And same being said about a lot of these sheep out here. I think, in terms of height improvement, certainly seeing it in this class, that sheep just in my mind, when you see it propped up on the side, just transitions and has the most overall proportions and correct pieces for me today. Really nice job by the young lady there exhibiting it going forward. Young lady here in second, really hamp-featured type of weather that we got out here. That one's insanely powerful and super cheeky when you study that one and his twist and his lower portion of his hip. For me, though, I think that's kind of where I get a little bit hard on him today. I like to lengthen him up and make him a little bit longer as he goes out into his dock there from his loin junction. I think if we were to change him there, that could be a pretty special one. For me, though, just where I get hard on him, makes him want to break a little bit, and when we set him into motion, he wants to run downhill ever so slightly. But a super powerful sheep, that's an awfully good one to be in second, young lady. If you were in any of the last two classes, you probably get to the top fairly easily. Really good one to be in two. As we get into 3 and 4 here, I think we got two really nice high-quality sheep. Just in terms of just having general shape and some trend and eye appeal to them. Young man's here in third. Just wants to really roach up in its top for me today. Gets a little flatter in the upper portion of its rack and compared to the two that are up in front of him where I start off with. But that's, like I said, a really hampy featured, really attractive type of sheep that really gives you a good look on the profile. We just got to fix him in the way that his back 1/3 links into the rest of him. I think if we do that, that one can go higher. As we round out the class, your young lady here in 4, it's not that you don't have a good sheep. That's certainly a nice one. Like I said, I think if this one was in the 1 or 2 classes before, easily gets to the top in that regard. You just run into 3 really good ones for me today. Just a little bit more tricked out and not as plain in terms of their look. I think those sheep just want to extend and just give me more of a look as well from the side. This one just we gotta square it up in terms of the way that it comes out of its hip. Wants to stand a little bit higher at the top of his hip compared to the rest of his body. Gets a little bit straighter off those back legs for me as well. Really nice one, though. I think that's still a really high quality sheep. Really good body, really good mass on that one. Congratulations to you.
Results for Class 3. In 4th place, Leighton Fraley. In 3rd place is Jonesy Colgrove. In 2nd place, Sophia Fout. And in 1st place, Isabella Lewis. Now entering the ring for Class 4, Meredith Rogers, Colt Pancake, Aubrey Workman, Livy Russell, and Xander Pancake. Judge, this is your class.
We get out here into our next class, and I think for me, in terms of just running uphill and having an exotic look out of the front end of that sheep, I think, you know, the young ladies' weather just really represents that for me in my mind really well for me today. You know, when I put my hands on this one, it doesn't have the most in terms of overall terminal finish on it for me today. I'd like to see this one just have another 5 or 10 pounds on him if we were being honest. I think that's a really high quality sheep that's really good in terms of its structure. I'd just like to see a nickel more finish on him for me today in my mind. But when the young lady gets that one propped up and I get my hands on him, that one handles really crisp and really square. That's a really good outline and type of sheep that runs uphill. Really gives me a good look right there. Congratulations to you. Young man in second, I think in terms of having the power sheep of the class, that's the one that you got. That one's really level down his spine. That one's really long in terms of its body proportions, especially through its middle there. For me though, in terms of just having the reach and the extension and the front end height like our class winner has, I think that's just kind of where I'd like to change him for me today. Kind of change a good sheep from a great sheep, if you would. I think if we were to do that on this one specifically, we could just see him go a little bit higher. Really nice one though, in just terms of having some shape and horsepower to him. As we get into 3, 4, and 5, we run into 3 sheep that just get a little bit plainer for me in their overall muscle. I think the sheep that we got in third, in terms of correctness and lines and just run in the right directions, able to get into the top 3 there. I'd like to see this one change in its hide for me today. I'd like to freshen this one up in its handle, and I think that kind of gave it a little bit of a disadvantage for me because I really do appreciate this one's outline and design when you study him, especially from the side. He just wants to give up a little bit shape up over the top. In the middle of him though, ever so slightly compared to the 2 up in front of him. That's just kind of where I find him in 3 today. Like I said, 4 and 5, 2 really nice individuals out here that I think, you know, provide some terminal value and really nice carcasses to hang, correct finish if you would in my mind. For me though, however, I'd like to just change their balance and their trend, just to make them a little bit more tricked out and clubby like the 3 up in front of them to go ahead and go any higher. Congratulations to them though, really nice set.
Results from Class 4. In 5th place, Livy Russell. In 4th place, Aubrey Workman. In 3rd place, Colt Pancake. In 2nd place, Xander Pancake. And in 1st place, Meredith Rogers. Now entering the ring for Class 5, Jonesy Colgrove, Allison Rogers, Lily Schneider, Sophia Fout, and Meredith Rogers. Judge, this is your class.
As we get into our next class here, I think sheep can come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and even colors, if you would. I think the speckle that we use to start off with, just in terms of having some awesome body length and being able to carry mass and transition smoothly throughout its whole entire body, I think that individual can do that exceptionally well. And I think if this one was to be put into a speckled breed class, that one can really, really excel, especially outside of this county fair level. That's a really high quality spec there in that regard. That one's got a lot of terminal shape when you put your hands on him up high, and then he's able to carry it into his rib, especially super round and curved and shapely there. Got a big barrel lane into his center portion there. And when you study him in his chest floor and the way that he gets off of his hocks and his back legs, that one's the smoothest, and that one carries himself correctly walking uphill when we put him into motion. Just a good one to start off with. And I think that's kind of where we see the differences here coming into 2 and 3, and that's kind of where I find these two really powerful crossbred wethers to land here for me today. When you study their power and their shape, they certainly got it. For me, though, where I got to change them, I think, are individual in 2. When we set this one into motion, wants to get up in his spine right there in the middle of his back, wants to roll off of his hip, wants to sweep his back legs up under him when we get him into motion. When he's set right there, looks really cool. I'd like to freshen him up and make him just handle a tick harder for me today. I think if we were to do that, that one can get in front of that spec that we use to start off with. When we get into 3 and going down the line into 4 and 5, I really appreciate this wether just from the side. I think that's a really attractive one. Balance is really good. For me, though, I got to change that one in the lower portion of his forerib. Wants to get really tight and tighten up there. Makes him appear to be a little bit more deeper chested than what he actually is because he's so tight right there in that regard. I'd like to change him in his hip loin junction, deepen him in his flank if you would. He's got a good belly to him, and I think he's got a good sway, but I'd like to change him as he comes back into the back portion of his flank there. Just drop him down, and I think that could really elevate his balance. He doesn't want to get out and just get up high in terms of the way that he reaches with his neck and the way that he moves around the ring. Wants to run downhill on me ever so slightly. I'd change him off of his hocks if we would, or I'm sorry, off of his feet if we would. I think we could change him there and just get him to flow for me a little bit better today and set off those hind wheels and just not have some extra set there. I think we could change him and make him go up a little bit higher. As we get into 4 and 5 here, we run into 2 sheep that just get a little bit plainer for me today. Sheep that we just got to square up and power up, especially coming out of their hips. We got to change them in the way that they come out into their docks, freshen them up in their hide. Sheep in 4, I think, just reads a little bit plainer. We got to make that one just balance and be more correct out of its hip. Sheep in 5, like to really freshen that one up over its loin, tighten its hide to go higher. Congratulations, though, guys. Really nice class.
Results from Class 5. In 5th place, Jonesy Colgrove. In 4th place, Meredith Rogers. In 3rd place, Lily Schneider. In 2nd place, Allison Rogers. And in 1st place, Sophia Fout. Entering the ring, 1st place from Class 1, Leighton Fraley. 1st place from Class 2, Enola Cade. 1st place from Class 3, Isabella Lewis. 1st place from Class 4, Meredith Rogers. And 1st place from Class 5, Sophia Fout. Judge, this is your class. Entering the ring, 2nd place from Class 1 is Lily Schneider. 2nd place from Class 2 is Colt Pancake. 2nd place from Class 3 is Sophia Fout. 2nd place from Class 4 is Xander Pancake. And 2nd place from Class 5 is Allison Rogers. All third place to the makeup area, please. And fourth and fifth on standby.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could we please give all these exhibitors a real nice round of applause out here. I was fortunate to kind of grow up showing livestock, and man, I could say kind of what a blessing it was for me. It certainly shaped my life in a lot of different ways. In terms of the way that it shaped the things that I did and aspired for and my goals, and the way that it kind of raised me while I pursued this hobby and this career, and I grew up in aging into showing and stuff. I think when you get out here and you just got to appreciate kind of the moment that we're in right now. You got all these kids out here that are maybe in their final drive for the first time, or maybe they're kind of a yearly competitor and they always find a way to get out here. I kind of just encourage everyone to say, hey, let's just stop for a second and let's just kind of look around. Let's look around and let's just enjoy this moment for a second, because you kind of never know if this is going to be your first time showing, and this might be your only time you get to the final drive at your county fair, or if this is maybe this is your last year and you're aging out or something like that. Just enjoy that kind of moment that we're standing in right now, guys, and let's just be a little bit thankful for all of our fair staff as well today, who's done an awesome job of organizing our sheep show, and all of the parents. Yes, all the parents that are standing ringside, let's be appreciative of them, or the guardians, whoever it may be, that are helping these youth and raising them right and putting them into 4-H and FFA and keeping them around livestock. There's a lot of things that these kids could be off doing nowadays, and I will argue with anybody that I think being in the ring showing livestock is one of the best things they could be doing, because I think it builds a lot of character, it teaches a lot of work ethic. These kids, they spend hours and hours out in the barn, year round, or even half the year, in terms of preparation for this very night, and for maybe 10 to 30 minutes that they're out here in the ring, and they do all this hard work to just kind of get my approval and my opinion. And sometimes that works out for people, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm here to kind of share my opinions and what I sort for and what I like in sheep. So if I didn't get you out here in the final drive today, please don't feel discouraged. I just sorted them the way that I like to see them, and take what I say with my words and the way that I picked them as maybe some type of critical response that is good for promoting positivity and being able to come back next year and present a better project and just get better. It's not me just being mean to you and putting you low today. I'm just sorting them the way that I like sheep and the way that I aspire to raise them. So with that, I think we get out here and we see 10 individuals that are certainly really high quality. I think you can see the uniformity that has started to arise in terms of the way that we look through, especially this front lineup, the style of sheep that I like to have in terms of putting them in a show string and going and feeding them and taking them to a show somewhere. I like the combination sheep. I like them that are able to have shape and have terminal value and have power and muscle and correct handle and finish that'll make a really good product. And then I like them to have that show eye appeal as well too. I'm a big fan for having them tricked out, being real cool out of their heads and neck, having shag, having some fluidness and motion, and being correct in their structure. I'm a big combination guy, and a lot of people always kind of ask me, what do I look for when I'm out here? I'm just looking for good livestock, guys, and I think I've certainly found it out here today. Really nice set of animals. I'm going to get off the mic and stop talking, and I'm going to go out and shake the hands of the ones that I think deserve to be in your top 10 for me today. We'll go ahead and select those individuals now. Really nice sheep show. Congratulations, guys.
Your grand champion market lamb is Isabella Lewis. Jonesy Colgrove, tag 78, to the ring, please. Leighton Fraley, tag 74, to the ring, please. Your reserve grand champion is Sophia Fout. Colt Pancake, tag 82, to the ring, please. Your third place market lamb is Meredith Rogers. Aubrey Workman, tag 76, to the ring, please. Your fourth place market lamb is Xander Pancake.
Aubrey Workman, class 76.
Aubrey Workman, tag 76, to the ring, please. Your fifth place market lamb is Jonesy Colgrove. Sixth place is Leighton Fraley. Your seventh place is Enola Cade. Xander Pancake, tag 80, to the ring, please. Your eighth place is Sophia Fout. Your ninth place is Allison Rogers. Your 10th place market lamb is Colt Pancake.
Okay, can we verify that I have the same thing as you all? I just wrote beside their name. Huh? You need to announce from 10 or to our top 10.
Your top 10 market lambs are in 10th place, Colt Pancake. In 9th place, Allison Rogers. In 8th place, Sophia Fout. In 7th place, Enola Cade. In 6th place, Leighton Fraley. 5th place, Jonesy Colgrove. In 4th place, Xander Pancake. In 3rd place, Meredith Rogers. Your reserve champion is Sophia Fout, and your grand champion is Isabella Lewis.
Class 1 Showmanship entering the ring is Enola Cade, Lily Schneider, Allison Rogers, and Colt Pancake. Those of you in the makeup area, please only one person with your exhibitor in the makeup area. Let's clear the aisle so these kids can get in the ring. Class 2 Showmanship, please report to the makeup area.
Hey, you agree with me on this, right? The first two classes are senior and the last year are junior, right? That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I had all my ducks in a row. And I'm about to cry. I really hope so. I love my senior and I haven't complained. I got grouchy with it. I'm so grouchy. I haven't been able to say okay. I paid the room. Now $1,800 to the back. I left everything on. I got put in the ground. I haven't got that done yet. So I don't see that coming. Me and Meredith are doing our lives all the things. And we're so interested in we have to do this stuff. I went to bed at 1 last night. That was an hour earlier than the other. That'll be big.
If we could, ladies and gentlemen, could we please give these 4 exhibitors a real nice round of applause? Really deep showmanship drive here that we got out in our first class. And I think really 4 individuals that have really worked their animals all year long, and it certainly shows right here in the moment. I still haven't placed them yet in my mind. I've been working them a couple different ways and pulling them in different orders to see if someone would want to kind of give up and quit showing on me. And I commend all you guys for sticking with it and showing, because I still haven't fully decided on where I wanted to put you for a second here. For me, though, what I look for in a showman is someone that comes out and really just exemplifies wanting to be here. Someone that comes in with an attitude that I want to win, and someone that's, they're pretty much just kind of they're the example that they want to come in here and win and be competitive, and they want to walk out with the banner at the end of this deal. And they give me their all for the whole majority of time that they're out here, and it shows in terms of the reflection of their sheep and their project all year long, just having the stamina to stand out here and work. I've had the privilege throughout high school and my early years of college to work with some showmanship camps and travel the country and teach thousands of kids over the summer. And certainly I kind of developed my own style and what I like to see out of a showman. I kind of get biased and pick people that kind of resemble the way that I used to show them when I was a kid. And that, like I said, that's being someone who's real aggressive, but also real precise in the way that they show their sheep. They get them planted, they get them driving hard, and then they don't move. And that's kind of what I'm looking for out here today. I think all 4 of you guys do an awesome job. It kind of comes down to the nitty gritty for me today, and I kind of had them go in a different motion there at the halfway through mark. I said, hey, pick a spot in the ring, kind of where you want to set your animal up. It doesn't matter to me. You can choose anywhere you want. And kind of what I was doing there was just kind of testing to see where they wanted to park their sheep and how they felt like they showed it off to me best in terms of where they put it. Doesn't really have any kind of effect on me where I place them today. Just thought it was something interesting to kind of do and make sheep work at a different angle. So I'll get off the mic and I'll show you the order that I place them. You guys, all 4 of you can come show sheep for me any day. I think you do a stellar job. So congratulations today. Like I said, this just comes down to personal preferencing for me and the style that I like to see out of a showman. Really nice job.
Results of Class 1 Showmanship. First place is Enola Cade. Second place is Colt Pancake. Third place is Allison Rogers. And fourth place is Lily Schneider. Class 2 Showmanship entering the ring should be Aubrey Workman, Xander Pancake, and Meredith Rogers. At the conclusion of Class 2, we will be choosing our overall senior showman.
If we could, another really nice round of applause, another really good grouping of kids here. You know, I think I'm going to leave them in the order that they stand for me today. I'm going to use the young lady up front here to start off. It's really a complete job in her part and the way that she is able to just kind of position herself on her sheep, and I think that's really what separates her from me today. Just prefer her posture and the way that she's just a little bit more up in front of that sheep, covering that chest with her leg and her knee there ever so slightly. I think she's able to just kind of hide herself, and she looks the most comfortable and relaxed for me today, especially when we make her switch sides. I think she's the smoothest for me today, and the way that she gets around that sheep. You know, at times that sheep wants to kind of step out of the brace. He's getting tired. He's been working. That sheep's been out in the ring for a long time today. She's still making him do everything that he needs to do. She gets him right there propped up. That one's spot on. Good job on her part. Young man in 2, really appreciate the effort that you gave me here, man. It's been close because I've had you winning this thing 50-50 for the whole time that you've been out here. I think you do a really awesome job. In times, I really like your style, how you're way off to the side of your sheep. You know, you're really giving me a good look at that whole chest and the front end of that sheep. For me, though, where I kind of get hard on you at times is because you're so off to the side of that sheep, you often lose sight of where you got that neck placement. Want to let that head and neck just run a little bit forward for me. I think that's where I fault you. I'd like to see you just get that a little bit more back over its body and kind of have some more pull going in this direction rather than this direction. And if we were to do that, certainly can rise up in front of the young lady up in front, because when you get him stuck right there, you know, that's a really, really attractive look that you give me from the side. Really smooth in terms of the way that you rotate around the ring with that sheep when you get him into motion. But when you're switching the sides is kind of where I get hard on you. Just get a little bit quick for me at times. Dude, just slow it down and just relax a little bit for me. You're a lights out showman. No need to get worked up at all. You do a really good job. Young lady here that rounds out the class, I think you do an awesome job. I appreciate your body positioning on that head and the way that you work the front end of that sheep. For me, though, we just got to get more critical on our feet and leg placement. At times compared to the 2 individuals in front of you, I just catch those sheep, that sheep's legs just staggered in the front and the back at times. Maybe just wants to get up in its spine and not drive as hard compared to the 2 up in front. But a really nice job on your part. Really nice job for all 3 of you. Congratulations.
Results of Class 2 Showmanship. In 3rd place, Aubrey Workman. 2nd place, Xander Pancake. And 1st place is Meredith Rogers. We will now be choosing our overall senior. So entering the ring should be Enola Cade and Meredith Rogers. Class 3 Showmanship, please report to the makeup area.
If we could we please give these two young ladies a nice round of applause for getting out here and representing their senior showmanship drive. I think both young ladies, they kind of exemplify, what I look for in terms of the style of showman that I like to see. The way that they work the heads and the front end of that sheep is huge in showmanship. They're not covering too much of the chest and the front legs for me, but they're also not, way off to the side where the sheep is kind of pushing through them, and they're not able to keep a hold on their animals for me today. They got their support legs back, and they got their weight on their offside leg, and as they brace with the sheep, they're using more of their inner thigh to brace rather than just straight in with their knee. That type of style is really what I prefer, and it's kind of the model that a lot of the showmen in our industry have picked up on and started to copy, and you see that at every jackpot show, every county fair, and every state fair and national show out there. And I think these two young ladies, if you were to go throw them in any of those crowds, they certainly would blend right in and rise to the top, fairly competitive. In terms of attitude, what really separated them in their heats to get them out here is you can just see the intensity and the sweat and the dedication that's kind of just dripping off of them right now. You can tell that it's 95 degrees out here, and they're making both of these sheep, which have both had long days in the show, both have done pretty good. They're making them work this whole time that they're out here and getting them into the position. This is just practice of hours of work at home and dedication and time, something that really reflects for me in showmanship. I always said when I was younger, and my dad was coaching me, and he was getting me ready for all the shows that we went to. I think one year we hit 30 or 40 shows in a year. He said it doesn't always matter about the quality of your animal. It's just about how good that you can make that one look and how much you can get out of it at the end of the day, and get it to the absolute highest as possible. And I think that both of these young ladies are doing that with their project for me today. It just kind of comes down to the nitty gritty of how I'm going to pick them here at the end. I think both of them do a really, really awesome job, and they're both really uniform, and you can see that within the pair of them today. Really nice job on both of your guys' part. I'll go shake the hand of your overall showman. Just a really nice work out of both of you guys today, and congratulations to you.
Your overall senior showman is Meredith Rogers. Entering the ring is Class 3 Showmanship, Sophia Fout, Piper Russell, Leighton Fraley, and Jonesy Colgrove.
Great job announcing. No, I'm being serious.
We get into our class of juniors, and I think the young lady that I used to start off with the speckled weather, just does the most complete job in terms of managing one from the side for me today. She gets that one set and she doesn't move. She's got that back leg off right there, but I think throughout the majority of the drive, in terms of just getting one to walk into place and set and not move and being able to manage a top line, I think she's done that the best for me today. Just getting a little relaxed out here as a talker, but I think overall and just completeness and being smooth and wanting to switch some sides for me, you do the overall best job for me today. Young lady in 2, I think, just in terms of getting one set and square, you do an awesome job in that regard. For me, though, where I'd like to change is I'd like to see you just kind of drop down and want to drive into that sheep a little bit harder. It's wanting to make that sheep's spine sway a little bit for us today, that he's so relaxed for us. And I'd like to see you just get that head back over his body a little bit more for us. Just some constructive criticism going forward to really just kind of work on and keep growing on in terms of being a showman. But you do a really nice job, and I appreciate your attitude. Got a lot of positivity out here, and I appreciate that. Young man in 3rd here, I think you got a weather that's just really wired up, and he's got some spunk in him. I'm surprised because it's so hot out today. A lot of these sheep are just getting tired and wanting to stand and pant. Yours is kind of doing the opposite, man. Yours is just wanting to run and blow through you, and it's kind of creating a little bit of a fight for me today, and that's kind of why I put you 3rd. I think if you were to get him standing right here like you got him now for the whole drive, you're probably easily in the top 2 because you get a really good handle on this sheep, and you do a good job in terms of the way that you work your hands. Just like to see you relax your grip at times on that sheep's ears. I think if you did that and he was to cooperate a little bit better for you, you might just see a little bit of a better result there. But a nice job on your part. Young lady, as we round out the class, I'd like to see you just square up your body and get more in front of the sheep like the 3 individuals up in front of you. Just change your body posture and get your support leg back behind you rather than in back behind the backdrop of the sheep there. Just some constructive criticism going forward, like I said. Congratulations, though. Really nice job.
Results of Class 3 Showmanship. 4th place, Piper Russell. 3rd place, Jonesy Colgrove. 2nd place, Leighton Fraley. And 1st place, Sophia Fout. Entering the ring is Class 4 Showmanship, Livy Russell and Isabella Lewis.
They're little, but I'm so happy. I love it. I love watching them.
Well, another really awesome class, and I think both young ladies do a tremendously good job. Pretty similar in the way that they kind of work their heads and necks on those sheep, but just some subtle differences there. For me, though, I'm going to leave them in the order that they stand. I'm going to use the young lady up here on my right to start off with, and the young lady here on my left to be second. I think, just kind of what separates it for me today is just the young lady up in front is able to use her inner thigh to just kind of push in on that sheep and get a little bit more of a drive out of it compared to the young lady that's in the back here for me today, just kind of where I separate them. Young lady, just some critical advice just going forward for you, what I'd like to change if I could. Always try to give some advice. Just don't lean over the sheep so much. I think it's kind of wanting to make him back up a little bit. I think if you were to just kind of drop your shoulders and relax and just lean a little bit more back off of that sheep, it'll keep him from wanting to back up and not push for you today. But just keep that tension on that head and neck and keep it at a 90, and I think you do an awesome job there. Young lady in 2, like I said, I think I'd just like to see you just get your opposite thigh, if you could, and get it onto that. get it onto that sheep for me today and push in that regard. A couple times I just caught you bracing that sheep with the wrong knee. I think if we were to just work on that, maybe just not bear hug that sheep so much with your hands and just grip around each ear with each single hand. I think if we were to change it just like that, that can certainly elevate you in a lot of ways in terms of just the way that you work that sheep's head and neck. Just stuff for both of these young showmen to build on going forward. I think you guys both got bright careers. Congratulations to you. Really nice set.
Results from Class 4, second place was Livy Russell, and first place is Isabel Lewis. Now we will be choosing our overall junior. Entering the ring should be Sophia Fout and Isabella Lewis.
If we could, for our junior showmanship drive, can we please give a nice little round of applause? I think we get out here and we compare our winners, and both young ladies do a really awesome job in terms of the way that they work their sheep, and I think they got some pros and cons each about them. Like I said, in terms of me giving showmanship advice, it's not me being critical on you. It's me just being constructive for you guys to take this home and go ahead and work, because I've spent the last, I could tell you the last at least 8 or 9 years coaching people on showmanship, kids that were younger than me and kids that were even older than me that just wanted to be better at showing, and because I took the sport so seriously, and I traveled the country and competed on all different levels of showing, and I certainly think that it reflects a lot of things. It just reflects the time that you spend with your project, and just how much it gets to know you, and it just kind of exemplifies just how much you want to improve and grow and keep taking yourself to the next level as an individual out here that just wants to show really good livestock and be good at doing it. And it's nothing against the quality of the animal out here at all for me in my mind today. I'm just looking for someone that can flat show one and comes out here and wants to win. I think both these young ladies did that specifically well in their heat. And as we get out here and compare them, like I said, I see some subtle differences. Young lady up here in the front with the speckle weather, I think you do an awesome job of getting this one driven and running uphill. You certainly get the harder brace out of the two compared to the young lady behind you. I don't know if I credit that to you just being an individual that's just a little bit more bigger and is able to handle a bigger sheep in terms of your height. But I think, in terms of managing the front end on that sheep, you do an awfully good job, and especially when you're working that top line and making that spec level out for you, you certainly do an awesome job in that regard. Ever so slightly at times, I catch those feet just being slightly off, and that's being critical. Just something to work on going forward. Just always be checking your legs and keeping an eye on that. And then just switching sides. When I get up in front of both of you guys, just like to see you just step off to the side and kind of get your feet next to the sheep's feet and just show me that front view when I get up in front. That's where I'm being critical on you specifically, but a really nice job. Really nice job in your part. You do a lot of things right in your regard. Young lady here in the back, like I said, in terms of just getting one out here and being able to manage your animal and you're totally 100% comfortable with it and it's comfortable with you, you do a really great job at that. I think you're able to get all 4 feet set square and do a really nice job in that regard. For me, though, like I said, I'd like to change the way that you work that head and neck and the way that you position yourself and how you lean over the back of that sheep. I think if you, like I said, if you were to just stand and lean more back off of that sheep and pull that head straight up to the sky and not let it droop like it is right now, yes, I think if you were to get him right there like that and do it consistently going forward, you're going to be a really great showman, and you got a bright future in front of you because you do all the rest of the basics pretty well good. And like I said, just be a little bit crisper on switching sides like that, and that's just being constructive. Like I said, guys, I'm not here to nitpick you and be hard on you. I just want to see you get to your maximum potential because you guys got it. You certainly get out of your heat, and you got that it factor to come out here and be competitive. So I'm going to shake the hands of your overall winner for me today, the one that I think is just able to just be a little bit more consistent in the job that they do. But both of you do a really, really awesome job, and just keep working at it and keep enjoying your careers because you got a long road ahead of you, and certainly a lot of life to 2 young showmen. So congratulations.
Our overall junior showman is Sophia Fout.